Here we are. Here we are. I hope you're well. I hope you're well. And man, I'm just an egomaniac with a inferiority complex. Somebody said that once, and man, I've worn that ever since. That thing. When I heard that thing, it fit my ears just like a damn comfortable shirt, man. I'm an egomaniac with an inferiority complex. Yeah, man.
She's got eyes of fire that burn like a shot of whiskey. And she's been known to bring a man to his knees.
Little Bishop Gunn right here.
She'll take all you have, and you never see her coming. And that's how I know the devil is a woman. Well, Mr. Johnson knows, 'cause he saw her up close in the Delta.
Delta, baby.
Said, ma'am, if you don't mind, would you tune this guitar for me? But she took his soul and she broke his heart just for fun. And that's how I know the devil is a woman. That's how I know. Temptation is her game.
Temptation, baby.
She'll make you want to anything that she wants you to.
That's a good one. That's a good one there. And you can listen to the rest of that one. That is Bishop Gunn. And that's their song, Devil is a Woman. And yeah, man. Is the devil a woman? Are things male and female? I find that they are. I like to think, if you think about the devil being because the devil is it's the temptation. You know, the devil, you could feel your train my train will be on the tracks, man. I'm cruising, doing good things for myself, waving at a neighbor, having a fresh milk, doing nothing bad, nothing. I see maybe a bowl of caramels or Weathers Originals. I pass them up. I'm good, baby. I'm cool. I go for a run. I go for a jog. I wave at a neighbor, pet a puppy. Tickle a dove. And then suddenly my train, the tracks, they roll right past that temptation station. And there's Satan's little cat house right there. And my brakes, I don't even put the brakes on, but they put themselves on. My brakes will put them like, who's running the brakes? And that's a temptation, man. Temptation is such a dangerous little microwave, isn't it? Because it looks warm in there. It looks fun. It's lit up. You open that microwave, it looks lit up in there. And then you walk in there, the door closes, things start cooking. The floor starts spinning around in a circle. You got all your loved ones are looking in at the window like, what are you doing in there? This is just for popcorn. That temptation, man, it'll bait you. It'll bait you, and then it'll damn date you, bro. Next thing you know, you're trapped into a relationship with the devil. And that is Devil is a Woman by Bishop Gunn. And they have their festival coming up, I know, in Natchez, Mississippi, next weekend. Not this weekend, but I believe the 11th is the date. I don't know if I'm going to be there. I'm going to try to get there, but I'm also going to try to get some rest. But it's a Bishop Gunn crawfish boil. They do it. This is the second year they've done it, and I'm just so proud of them. To me, they're like a Southern Aerosmith, and the drummer. Some people don't know. I've told the story before. I'll tell it fast. The drummer, I used to work with his father. His father had a farm over there in the along the Mississippi-Louisiana border, and I used to work on the farm in the summertime. And his dad, his dad really cared about me when I didn't have someone to care about me sometimes, or just his dad was a male presence that was around, that let me feel okay around him. That didn't really judge me and just let me feel okay. And we were friends for years, and his father passed away from addiction. And the son, who I've known since he was probably 2, he's been in some bands over the years, and I didn't, somebody says they're a drummer for a couple of years, you're like, damn, they're like, yeah, I'm in the band. You're like, well, damn, he's doing drugs, But he stayed with those sticks. And this dude will fucking put a tambourine out of business, brother. This young fella can play the drums, and they have an amazing band. And now he's in this band, Bishop Gunn, and it's just been a blessing to see my friend's son get to live out some of his dreams. Anyway, what's going on? I'm back. I was in West Palm this weekend. I want to announce these tour dates. Oh wait, I just did announce them. We'll put that at the beginning. Let me announce them now. I'll announce them now so we don't have to edit anything in here. Just some new Dark Arts. We got some new Dark Arts tour dates. Some of the cities. Now, if you come to the show, a year ago, some of the material is going to be the same. It's changed, some new stories, but it's just some places we didn't get to see everybody there. So I'll be going to Vancouver, Seattle, Portland, Boise, San Antonio, Austin, Tulsa, Oklahoma City. Those are all in June. Then I'll be going in August to Sacramento, Las Vegas, Memphis, Atlanta, Louisville, Biloxi, Sayreville, New Jersey, over there at the Starland Ballroom. Bethlehem, PA, where the Lord was born, baby, over there at the Sands Bethlehem Event Center. Oxon Hill, Maryland. So if you're tired of getting gunned down over there in D.C. or getting stuck in the traffic for them busy libraries, you go over to Oxon Hill. Cleveland, Ohio. And I am so excited about that one. Indianapolis. I'm excited about that one. Grand Rapids, Detroit, Milwaukee, and Madison. And those are in August and October. And there's going to be some more dates in the South that are added, but I don't know when just yet. All those tickets go on sale this Tuesday, which is the 30th, I guess. April 30th at 10 a.m. local time. And the pre-sale code is ONWARD. So no one else is going to have access to these tickets except our listeners and people that, and we'll probably put a swipe up on social media. But that's going to be it. So you'll be able to get access to these tickets. And I'm excited. I love the show that I'm able to do right now, and it's just been a blast. I mean, it's been a blast, man. And so those are the cities, and thank you so much for your patience. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I was in West Palm this weekend. Dude, I got to meet Riff Raff, Jody High Roller, that freaking, the Tanqueray Tangerine Tiger, you know what I'm talking about? That Raspberry Ralph Waldo Centerson, you feel me? Man, Riff Raff in Rafghanistan. And if you don't know the man, I'm talking about Dale D'Antoni with that $1 million mullet. I mean, this guy's got a mullet it'll make George Washington's butt sweat, He got that thing. Whoo! That's just got so many waves in it. When he walks by the ocean, you could hear the water get jealous. And he invited me into his multimedia complex over there. Him and his boy Mike. And, man, it was something special. I know of him through Simon Rex, and I knew of him just, growing up and seeing his wildness. He's a unique character. He's that Armageddon ostrich. He's a rare Impanema. They don't have a lot like him, Jody High Roller, they call him. And he invited me into his home, and we did a podcast episode. And it's crazy because I remember 2 years ago thinking, man, it would be... I remember he and I messaged on Instagram. And I was like, what? I was so just, man, I would be crazy if one day I got to interview him, talk with him, just talk with him, chop it up. And then here I was, getting to live out kind of like a little dream, getting to live out a special moment. And he's a special guy, he's very artistic and very unique. And it was just, I'm glad I got to do it. It was fun. It was a lot of things, but you'll see, we really chopped it up and talked about the past and talked about life, and we broke it downtown. Who else? We had, the shows were good. Dude, they had a fucking wasted guy. What show was that? Saturday Late Show. This dude had on sunglasses. He had his feet up on the table. I don't know. It almost seemed like he had been, in prehistoric times, he'd frozen up. And then enough global warming or just natural local sun or just a couple of fucking brave dudes with some pickaxes that finally, got him out of that ice block. That ice block time lock that Mother Nature had put him in. That cold coffin. Frozenness. And let him loose. And this dude was an animal. Sometimes he'd have sunglasses on, then he would take them off. He was yelling the jokes in the middle. He really a lot of people complained about him. He was a real piece of fucking dirty work, man. That's Satan, baby. Right on your shoulder. What is that? Nothing? No, that's Satan, boy. That's Satan. It was a special time, man. It was a special weekend. I enjoyed it. I was grateful that everybody came out. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys so much for coming out. It really, really meant a lot. And Florida's a unique place. If you haven't been to Florida, then you should go. You should go, dude. Everything looks smokable. Right when you get there out the airport, you're driving around, and everything in Florida looks like you could roll it up and smoke it, or put it in a pipe and change your brain cartography. You could do some remapping of your interior avenues, because everything in South Florida looks smokable. Man, this fella from the old neighborhood came out. This dude, Dickie Van Zant, came out. Richard was his God-given name, but they call him Dickie. And Van Zant, I don't know if it was his natural name. I think it was Van Zantson, but eventually, you get a nickname sometimes from people in the area. And over there on McGee Street in Covington off of Lee Road, where I, sprouted up. And this dude, he, something happened to him. I don't know if he got, he had some issues and was, he had that thing in his neck where you get that hole in your neck from smoking or drinking chemicals. Sometimes people drink a fucking, half a can of gasoline, and next thing you know, they got to talk through that, they're half of a fucking flute. They put a hole right by their heart, and they're a wind section of an orchestra. But DVZ came out, man. He got that smoker's hole, I think from smoking too many cigars, And he could do this trick. He even did it. He'll swallow a marble and pop it out of his throat, Show the kid, surprise the boy. That esophageal David Blaine, boy, just bam, and he fucking pop it right out. It's like winning the marble lottery. And he can do it with a couple things, too. Maybe you think he stole your wife's wedding ring. He did it on one couple where he said, hey, let me see your wife's wedding ring. And the guy's like, all right. He swallows it. And the dude's like, what the hell, man? That thing cost me half a year's salary. And then before the guy can punch him, he pulls it out of his throat and makes him realize they love each other still. And that's the power, really, of the human body right there in the human spirit. So good to see you, D, man. It was nice, bro. It was nice. Man, I miss being young, man. I miss it. I got to see my little nephews. I saw them last week, and they were talking. They wanted to play sports in the street, and they collecting. They showed me their football cards, and just the excitement of when everything is new in the world. You know, that's one thing I miss. Remember when regular things were temptation? And you mill around long enough, and then you've seen everything enough. You've collected enough basketball cards, and you've watched enough. You've gone to the beach enough times, and you've touched the nipples of enough ladies, or kissed enough women, or and then the only temptations around is that it's really the dark arts at that point. The only person that's still stirring the bowl with the wooden spoon, when you look at the hand, you see that it's got dark nail polish on it. And that's the devil, man. He's the only one who's still tempting you, who's still stirring you dirty like that. So you got to find those inner temptations. That's what I have to find anyway. I got to find, you got to fight the dark arts, man. And I'm grateful to see at the shows, a lot of people come. Man, the lady told me the other day, they had a beautiful lady who's the manager there at the West Palm Beach Club. And the club, I don't know from a audience experience what the audience experience was like, but the manager, hardworking woman. And what was I talking about, man? I was talking about temptation. Anyway, she told me after one of the shows, she said, hey, at the end of the weekend, because we got done 1:30, we left the club after doing meet and greets and just meeting everybody that wanted to wait. She said, yeah, you have one of the nicest audiences that we've ever had. I was like, wow, that's so cool. I said, yeah, I'm lucky to be part of a neat group. That's what I told her. So, we got a good group. We got a good group, except for that dark angel that was out there. This dude was fucking doing lines of his grandfather's dandruff. Boy, that guy was fucking built up. He was built up on false stilts, dude, on that dust. On that. Like you got a fucking... Like you got a woodpecker living in you. What else? What's going on? Oh, I'll say this, man. They had a young guy that came. Oh, an engagement. I'll put it on the YouTube. I'll send Nick the video. A man came. Man, I can't remember his name. I thought it was Ryan, but I could be wrong. He came and he said, and he got engaged to his wife afterwards, after the show. So after the first show, I've been doing meet and greet, where I can meet about 50 people. Because if we meet everybody after the first show, then the second show gets delayed till, it can be 2 hours. So we have to limit the number of people. And then after the second show, I'll do a meet and greet and then meet anybody else that wants to wait. It just takes a while. So I know people have been asking me about it, but it's just the only fair way that I can think to do it right now, because I can't have the second show start, 2 hours late. It needs to try to start on time. And we started at a half hour late on each show this week. But anyway, but you guys don't care about that. Only I care about it. I'm always just bothering myself with myself. But a guy got engaged, man. This is the second time I've seen it. I was in Boston, and a guy and his girlfriend were walking around all day. And he took a knee right there in front of me and they got engaged. I need to reach out to him too, actually. And then this pair, bam. The guy just said, oh, he didn't even have a ring for her. He went that old ringless, that ringless worm. No ring. She's like, you don't even have a ring. But they were both crying and hugging. And then today she sent me an Instagram photo and she does have a ring. So he must have made up for it today doing that Sunday shopping. But man, that's beautiful, huh? It was beautiful. And what else? Another guy came up, and I was thinking about, I've been working in this 12-step stuff that I'm doing, they have, you talk about family and people you have resentments against and things that are buried inside of you that can that can affect the way you behave daily, but you don't realize it. It's not like they're treasures, but you don't realize they're treasures at first. Because resentments, they can really, it's like a little edge inside of you where it's supposed to be a curve. And so everything that goes around there is choppy. Every time your thoughts or your feelings pass through that canal of that journey within you, if you're thinking about something that even is related to a previous experience you had that you didn't like, or a person that you don't like, or a family member, a loved one, or a parent or whatever, you have a resentment. So then anytime something else comes up that would kind of use one of the same streets in your brain or your feelings, it'll, instead of it being a curve, it'll be a 90-degree angle, and it's choppy. They're like speed bumps for the way that you can love others. To me, anyway, I can't love people as well if I have these speed bumps in me. It makes kind of the highway at my heart. It's got a lot of. It's just you're gonna have really good insurance if you're gonna travel down it, because I got a lot of speed bumps on it, resentments, anger, things, previous experiences that are rough, that make my road rough and make it rough for me to bring anybody down the road. And they had a young man that came after the show, and he said, hey, I really appreciate some of the stuff you talk about on the podcast when you get into just talking about what you're feeling and stuff. My father was real old when I was born. You guys know that. My dad was born in 1910. And so I've been doing this work recently, just thinking about my dad and my relationship with him. And this young fella at the show said, hey, my dad was 61. And that got me thinking even more about my dad, and just kind of how, I always had, I love my dad. I'm grateful for him. But I've also always been a little bit angry at him. I didn't realize it. I was always angry because I didn't know him very well. I was 16 when he passed away, and he was 86. And, I was angry because I didn't know him, because he didn't know me. I kind of always... And then I realized that I really kind of judged my father. I didn't realize it. I always thought that one of the reasons we didn't know each other very well was because of the age gap. But I really started to think back more on it, and one of the reasons also we didn't know each other very well was because I really judged him. I really judged him for being so old. Other kids would make fun of him, and then I kind of made fun of him. And I think sometimes I didn't even try to get to know him. Even though I was young, it wasn't my responsibility, really. It wasn't an ideal situation. But I didn't really try to get to know him. And I would make the excuse, well, he shouldn't have had a kid when he was that old, What was he thinking? Well, that's true. But if he doesn't have that, I don't exist. So there's validity there to that argument, but if I don't exist, but he gave me my existence, however way it happened. He really gave me the most important gift, which is my experience of the world. And I judged him so much, and kind of, that I didn't really get to know him. There were times he probably thought sometimes, wow, maybe my son he's not interested, or I think maybe I was afraid to get to know him because I knew he was going to pass away. So it was probably like safer to not get to know him, you know? But I remember I chose to joke around. I would always make, you know, because other people started making fun of my dad because he was just so old, man. You know, and so I would make fun of him, you know, sometimes. Because it's all I could do. It's the only thing I could do to kind of survive was to also make fun of him. But in doing that, I didn't really honor him. I didn't really honor my relationship with him that much. I didn't, you know, and I'm not really blaming myself. I'm not coming down hard on myself. I'm trying to get to a place where, where when I think about fatherhood and I think about parenting, I'm trying to, you know, pick these locks that keep me from having a lot of emotions in those spaces. But I was real embarrassed of my father. You know, I hate to say this, man. I was embarrassed, like, you know, when we would walk somewhere, I would walk kind of far behind him or away from him. You know, because he was so old, and he didn't notice that much because, you know, when you get old, and this wasn't when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was real doting on him. I was real caring. You know, I remember we would walk to church sometimes, and I would, you know, I'd make sure that the leaves were off of the sidewalk, and I would make sure that that he knew that the sidewalk in Louisiana, dude, good fucking luck, bro. That thing is a gangplank. Dude, sidewalk in Louisiana, that's a side work. They should call it that thing. The first thing is like that. The next one is straight up. One of them is a damn drawbridge because they got all the tree roots popping through. So you have one piece of cement sidewalk. The next piece is the third piece is an off-ramp. Take you right over to Laplace where Billy Conforto lived, R.I.P. I mean, the sidewalk in Louisiana, that thing is dangerous. Slip and fall, dude. Slip and fall all the way into the Lord's arms. That thing's killing senior citizens left and right. That's a side work, baby. There's no... And so I remember I'd make sure that my dad knew how the sidewalk was when we were young so that we could walk together, you know. But then as he got older, I remember like we'd be somewhere and I would be, you know, I'd walk away from him or, you know, I remember like, I remember like he like, you know, I remember like his skin sometimes on his hands was real old. Excuse me. I just cleared my own throat and swallowed my own mucus. So I'm obviously a reptile. But I remember his skin on his hands was so old that sometimes, you know, when I saw him, it would make me, like I loved him and stuff, but it would make me kind of scared or it would make me kind of sad sometimes, you know, when he touched me because, you know, because he wasn't the way that I wanted him to be, you know. And I'm not sad because it's I don't think this is like my fault. I'm not, you know, I don't want you to. I'm not like in this kind of woe is me space. I just, you know, I want to be able to be as loving as I can, and I know that sometimes I have to examine relationships in my life to see where I have hang-ups. But yeah, I was just embarrassed of him, you know, the way he's, because my dad was a handsome man, you know. He had a lovely girlfriend, Miss Maggie, and she would make us she lived in a nice place, man. I remember when I went to her place, it was like the nicest apartment we'd ever been in. Big tall ceilings, man. You could have a whole nother fucking room in the ceiling. The ceiling was so high. I said, damn, just give me a hammock. I'll go live up there. Give me 4 hammocks. You know? I'll just Tarzan around up there. I'll build a little kitchenette up there, halfway up the wall. Give me 4 hammocks. I'll live in the corner of the ceiling. And she took care of my dad when he was real old. She was probably about she was probably 60. And my dad was, at that point, he's 85 or something. Or she was probably about 63. And she was fancy. She was like a high society woman, in New Orleans. And that's still very, they got the fancy people down there, but she was a good woman, and she loved my dad. And they were friends, and yeah, but I just remembered seeing him like, walking around. I remember I'd sleep over there sometimes at her house in the middle of the night, and my dad would get up to go to the restroom, and I'd see him in like the window in like the moonlight. She had these big windows that faced right out on the Mississippi River, man. She lived in I don't even know what it was. It was over there in across the river, across the Mississippi over there in I can't even remember it right now. Kind of by Gretna, but right by the river, by the ferry. Anyway, so, and I would see my dad walk. I could see him walk, and he was just old, And I didn't recognize it as much when he was, I'd see him fully clothed, all dressed up, and he dressed up real nice every day. And then at night, though, I'd see him in his body. He seemed like a dinosaur, like an old dinosaur. And I think it made me scared, it made me, as a kid, but it made me angry at him. And I didn't realize this till literally just this week. And then I was thinking about it even more on the flight home this morning after this guy last night was telling me he had an old father. And by hearing me talk about my dad, sometimes he could relate. And that made me feel happy. It made me feel happy to know that, we can relate to each other. But yeah, it made me, it just made me look more at my relationship. And I could have had more memories with him if I hadn't judged my father so much. He wasn't like this, or he couldn't do this. He didn't have anything. I just think I'm not mad at myself. I want you to know that I'm not like, I think I could have been maybe could have been a better son to him, and I know the circumstances weren't ideal, but I just maybe could have been a better son to him sometimes, I could have had more pride. I wish somebody had taught me to have more pride in my family when I was young, because I didn't know. And then when other kids started making fun of, my situation in the world, like, I joined them and made fun of my situation as well, instead of having a sense of pride. Now that's where, my parents or the world or the scenario or whatever, that's where, my father he could have done a better job by helping me have a sense of pride in our family. And maybe he tried, and sometimes things just are the way they are. But I never realized that I was angry at my dad until I wrote down this resentment thing. It says I'm angry at my father, and then I have to write why I'm angry at him. So I have to really sit there and think. And I was angry at him because I didn't know him. I never got to know him. I know he loved to sit and drink coffee and speak in Spanish to his friends. I know he bought a Delta 88 off a black dude and had some speakers in it that were fucking ratchet. And he would just listen to talk radio with the loudest bass you've ever heard coming through the neighborhood. You never heard a man roll through the neighborhood with just the weather report. 60% chance of clouds. 40% 99% chance of rain. I mean, dude, it was fucking crazy, man. And he liked to, go sleep in his car at the park a lot of times. And, but I was ashamed of him. I was ashamed of, I was ashamed of my father. And maybe it was just a safety mechanism for me because I was afraid that if I got to know him, that I knew he was going to die. I just knew how time worked. But I have to look at this. I have to look at that relationship in my life because it affects the way today, how I look at time. It affects like how I look at age, how I look at, wanting to have a family and not wanting, if I have this built up fear somewhere deep inside of me that I'm not going to be able to create a loving relationship with a child, even if it comes from a scenario that's irregular, like an very old man having a son. But if I let that fester in me without examining it, then it could affect if I decide to have a son or not at all, or have a child. So I have to look at those things. But I was embarrassed of my father, What else? I have a list here of things because I wrote this stuff down about my resentments. And then I get upset sometimes that I don't remember him. And I was going right into adolescence and teen and, getting erect and all of that. And I started doing masturbation and whatever, 13, 12, bro. It's Dick City. You could look at every state in the universe. You look at any map when you're a kid at 13 years old, bro, and it's Dick City. Population, yeah, boy. But yeah, I mean, I was ashamed of my father. And then I just realized that I miss him, I realized that I judged him. And I realized by looking through some of the things that I was just pretty judgmental. And I don't know where that judgment came from or how it started. I'm not ashamed of him. I'm not mad at myself of it. I'm not. But I'm glad that I'm able to see it a little bit now. That I was judgmental towards people that love me because, I was afraid because I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to love them. And by learning, here's the thing, by learning sure, my father had a bunch of faults. He shouldn't have had a kid at that age. I'm glad he did though. What do I mean he shouldn't have? I'm glad he did. If he didn't, I don't exist. So, but maybe he should have thought more about it. Maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe he thought he was going to live to like 100. He always say that. So he'd always like kind of guarantee me that. But I learned through doing this process, like why I'm angry at my father. I was ashamed of him. I was embarrassed of him. I can't apologize to him. I can't love him. He was selfish. I'm angry because our relationship wasn't what I wanted. I think that's one thing. From the get, I realized, our relationship, this isn't what I want out of a father-son relationship. So I'm not going to care about it that much, but. And then sometimes I felt a lot of times like I used my dad because he was so old that even if I did like regular kid kind of mischief around him, it always came off like I always felt bad about it. Because if you joke around with it, you say you hide something from your dad. If he's 30, that's fine. He'll find that shit. But you hide something from your dad and he's 78, you hide his car keys. Dude, he could look for a month. So I think I developed this deep sense of like feeling bad about myself because I would do regular things a kid would do, but then I would see the effect that they would have on an older person, and then I would feel so bad about it because a kid's going to do those things no matter what, but then when you see that this old person can't deal with it, and then it makes you feel bad, So I think I developed this sense of like shame a lot that kind of lives in me. But I don't realize it unless I start to look at these relationships in my life. And so anyway, that's something that I'm learning to do, like in my 12 steps, you know. But anyway, let's get into some calls, man. But I just want to say thank you to the young man that shared what he was thinking the other night on stage, and you know, and then another couple came up there and they got engaged, man. And, oh man, she was so happy. You know, I saw this woman, she teared up and she was crying, and you know, the guy he was so excited. And man, it's cool. You know, I'm blessed, man. I am blessed to I'm blessed to be able to feel. I'm happy to be able to even feel things. I'm like, you know, what's beautiful for me right now is I get to still have a feeling about my father. You know, and it's so funny. As soon as I started making this list the other day and thinking about this stuff, immediately a lot more memories of my father came into me and in my brain in a more comfortable space. You know, a lot more things came into me where in the memories I was more loving of him now, even immediately, than I was like, you know, the meetings were softer. They had the memories were softer. They had more of a curve to them. It just wasn't such a just a little bit of less 90-degree angles around my heart. Let's take a couple calls, man. So I don't even know what I'm talking about. But man, I'm excited for those tour dates. They're going to be fun. Some of these are theaters, man. I can't even believe this. I cannot even believe this. So I want to thank you. All those tickets are going to be available Tuesday at 10 a.m. your local time. TheoVon.com/tour is where you can get those tickets. I'll tell you this right now, that today's episode is brought to you by Skillshare, is an online learning community for creators, creators, with more than 25,000 classes in design, business, and more. You'll discover countless ways to fuel your curiosity, creativity, and, you know, career. Take classes in social media marketing, mobile photography, creative writing, even illustration. Change your life if you want to. You ain't got to go to community college. You ain't got to drive over there to Toledo State. You ain't got to do that. You can take classes in social media marketing, mobile photography, creative writing, or even illustration. Whether you're looking to discover a new passion, start a side hustle, or gain professional skills, Skillshare is there to keep you learning, thriving, and reaching those new goals. Join the millions of students today. If you're thinking about doing crime or something, you got a gun, you got a needle, put it down. Pick up Skillshare. And we have a special offer just for our listener. Get 2 months of Skillshare for free. That's 60 days of skills. That's right, Skillshare is offering this past weekend listeners 2 months of unlimited access for over 25,000 classes for free. To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/TheoVon. Again, go to Skillshare.com/TheoVon to start your 2 months now. That's Skillshare.com/TheoVon. Thank you guys for your support. Oh, man. Yeah, man, it just got me thinking about the parental stuff and family stuff, and just, and just like, you know, just judgment, and how my judgment keeps me away from others. I can feel it sometimes, even still today. You know, I know I'm not doing good when I start getting real judgmental. Because judgment keeps me away from you. It keeps me away from someone. Oh, look at them. Look at that. Oh, look, they're like that. Oh, they have that. Oh. Now, sometimes it works to inspire me. You know, I judge the rich. I judge the greedy. You know, and sometimes it works to inspire me. And I felt like those things were necessary. But I'm at a point in my life now where I'm able to look and see, okay, is this still serving me well? Or is this just a thing that's keeping me away from people? You know, and then it goes down to, well, why are you so afraid to have somebody care about you? Why are you so afraid to care about someone? Because the thing is, there's this trick. That's the devil out there making you believe that or feel that. That's Satan, baby. That's Lucifer, bruh. That's Lucifer, that darkness sniffer. And they think you, the whole life, you think, oh, I'll just keep judging and keeping people at a distance. But guess what? There's this thing in the distance making you think, oh, that you win somehow, that I win somehow by doing that. I'm not saying you, I'm saying me. But then I get to the end of my life and I'll realize, you know what? I didn't win anything by doing that. That was a trick. And the only thing I won was being alone or being less connected to others, you know? And not only did I miss out, could I miss out on caring about people, but I missed out on feeling probably a lot of the love that people had for me. Because there's something right there wrapped up their next door neighbors, they're cheek to cheek, they're conjoined twins. When I can't love someone, when I judge and I keep someone away from me, you know, I keep me away from them. I keep me away from them. And also, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Let's get into some questions, man. But I don't know, man. You know. Yeah, and I'm not being hard on myself because, you know, I'm not saying woe is me, this or that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I know that there's, if I'm resentment about something, if I'm angry about something, I need to go look at why I'm angry about it. And if I can eventually find a way that I had some say in it, then at least it's in my control. So instead of being angry at my dad because he was so old and I didn't get to a proper father-son relationship, instead I can take a little bitty piece and say, oh, well, you know what? When I was like 15, 16, I could have probably been a better son at some points. Then it puts a little bit of it on me. Now I can have ownership of it. And now I can go apologize, you know, at my father's grave if I want to and let him know. And not that I'm like, because then it just gives me ownership. Now I'm in control of our relationship again. And now I can rebuild memories. And now I don't have that. Now there's no anger between us anymore. You know, now it's an opportunity for my brain and heart to be like, oh man, good. That right angle ain't there. That right turn, that stoplight, those 7 stop signs you got built up at this intersection of your emotions, it's not there anymore. And it's just a beautiful curve, man, and you can feel the love. You can feel the love, man. Let's get a couple calls that came in, man. These came in. This one came in before I went to Florida. I didn't get to it. Onward.
What up, Theo? This is Neil from Orlando. What up?
What up, Neil from Orlando? And I'll say this about your area, Neil. That's a bright area. Orlando, that is just damn bright Afghanistan. You need sunglasses. Your sunglasses better have contact lenses. You better have on a hat, a cowboy hat. You better bring an awning. You better have some dude park right behind you with a camper and throw that awning out. Because grandma's skinning catfish, bruh. And it's still sunny out and we need that cover. One of the brightest cities I've ever been in America. That's Orlando. Onward.
Man, I went to LSU as well, so I got some questions about your LSU days, but honestly, I'll save those for later. I just want to know you're going to be down in Palm Beach this weekend. I wanted to say welcome to Florida, welcome to the Sunshine State. Watch out for the Florida man. Florida man is real out here. It's a spirit that possesses men, women, children, and animals, so watch out. Don't trust any small children or small animals while you're out here. Take care of yourself, Theo. Have a good weekend. Love you. Gang, gang.
Love you too, brother. Gang, gang. And I stayed out of the darkness over there. You know, honestly, I didn't have a chance to even get involved in any mess. You know, I saw a dude that had a guy at the bar smoking a cigarette through his nostril. But when my boy Richard had showed up, and I see he got that, you know, he got that par one on his, you know, he got that neck hole, that esophageal, because if you can't breathe out of when you smoke your esophagus out, when you blow out your windpipe, you got to get the air straight from the neck hole. And he's doing that wedding ring trick. But damn, dude. Also, he told me with the wedding ring trick, that he fucked it up about four times. They had to pump his stomach, just pumping the matrimony out of that dude. Cause goddamn, bruh, you send a wedding ring through somebody's bowels. I mean, that could be grounds for divorce. But yeah, I didn't get involved in anything. I saw a couple of kids maybe look like it could have been a real small man dressed up, faking it, you know, trying to find a tit to catch on to with his lips, trying to get that sip of leche, that con leche, that calle leche, that street milk. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm just swallowing my own fucking mucus, boy. I am a lizard. But yeah, I didn't give in to any temptation, man. I didn't give in to any temptation, man. You know, I got like some, you know, couple wildcats. Somebody sent me a picture of their booty in the DMs and all of that. And I maybe flirted with disaster or considered it, but I stayed out. I stayed out of it. One thing I have been doing is Dr. Pearl Mutter's Sugar-Free Universe or whatever it's called. Jesus Christ. Dude, I'll fucking tie myself to a rocket and shoot myself towards the actual Milky Way right now, hoping it's a sweet candy out in space. Because, yeah, bruh, being off sugar is hard, dude. Maybe Florida man is just some guy who's trying to be on that keto. Because, dude, you fucking... Bro, I could hear somebody fucking unwrap a Jolly Rancher from probably about 80 yards. What is that, lime? Dude, you hear of sugar. You want to talk about crack. You know what I'm saying? Step on a crack, baby. Break your mama's back. That's sugar. Let's hear another call that came in. As always, the hotline is 985-664-9503. And thank you guys so much for your support of this podcast. Man, I'm so grateful, man. You know, I'm grateful that we have this fun little world, and I think we're going to do cool stuff in the world, man. And I believe that. And I know I'm the one that talks a lot, but I think about us. Let's take more.
What up, Theo?
What's up, Theo? This your boy Adam calling in from Boca Raton, Florida.
What's up, Adam? Boca Raton, baby. That's the rat's mouth. That's what they call it. And Boca Raton is a great way to find you a gilf. Or a good gilf. That great grandmother I'd like to fornicate. Onward.
You know, that rat's mouth.
Gang, gang, boy. Rat King-a-ling, son. In El Building.
Went to your show last night in West Palm Beach, man. I went solo. And next thing you know, I got that cute little girl sitting right next to me. She's also going in solo. And next thing you know, man, after watching your awesome show, we go out, we get some drinks, and well, we spent the night together, man.
Whoa. That's what I'm talking about. Dude, we doing it out here. The dark arts, bro. We fucking dropping flashlights on the dark arts, boy. We got people getting married on the stage. We got young bucks solo dolo. And now this guy got him a little dime, bro. This nickel found him a dime. Let's hear more, brother.
And I got you to thank for that, bro. So, yeah, I just wanted to thank you. Thanks for coming down, man. And go get that hitter, bro. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang, baby. Get that header. Dude, that's cool, man. That makes me feel good. You know, and even though I masturbated on Friday night, on Saturday night, I didn't. So that made me feel pretty good, too, to not do that. I got one day. But I'm still off the pornography, but I'm just on that bust, you know. I got back on the bus truck. All aboard, you know, and I busted out, man. But I'm glad that you found somebody. I'm glad that, yeah, look. Man, when we stay in the good space, man, I do believe that good things can happen for us. You know? And we get tempted, man. We see that wooden spoon stirring up all the goodies. But we don't see the hand that's stirring it. That hand got dirty fingernail polish on it. And that hand's got the knuckles of a leper. And I don't know what a leper is, actually, but I think it's just got, you know, that's the devil. Let's hear more. Onward.
Yo, Theo, it's Jesse, man. Yesterday was my birthday, and it snowed here in Calgary, Alberta.
Dang, Jesse. And look, and God bless you up there in Edmonton, man. And I'll say this, man. People think it's not wild up there in Canada. Dude, we were in the sunshine over there in West Palm Beach riding four-wheelers with Riff Raffians, with the giraffe himself, with Ken Griff Raffy Jr., and Edmonton's up there in the snow. Onward, happy birthday, belated, bud.
Like 3 feet of snow, dude. Like, the last time I saw this much snow on my birthday, I nearly overdosed, brother. Things have changed, man. And it's like going on 7 a.m. right now, and I'm...
Wait, hold on, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear some of that. Let's play it again.
Like 3 feet of snow, dude. Like, the last time I saw this much snow on my birthday, I nearly overdosed, brother. Things have changed, man. And it's like going on 7 a.m. right now, and I'm awake and I'm sober. It's been like 2 years. But something about this day, like with all this snow on the ground, makes me feel kind of like I'm high or something, you know? I'm coming down. Like, it's just a weird thing to think that, like, imagine being awake in this moment because your heart is racing and your jaw is grinding. And you got a limp dick, but you're going to try to jerk off anyway?
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. And I got that fat pat down between my legs, you know, and so I'm jerking off. It's like, man, it's trying to do CPR on a fucking St. Bernard that has not been missing meals, you know what I'm saying? That thick canine, bro. It's like trying to do CPR on that thick canine when he's in a coma, in that cock coma. But no, it is, man. It's a beautiful high, brother. It's a beautiful high that you can get by being in the same exact spot you were, but by being a different person. I've had that feeling before, man. Yeah, I hated that, man. Being awake 7 a.m., 9 a.m., high on the cocaine, man. Still just carpet surfing for little nuggets of that blow. Seeing if anything's left, snorting fucking popcorn, half a popcorn kernel, thinking it was a little rock. Yeah, but now, man, you get a feeling, and this feeling is good. And there's a different high inside of you. You know, that's awesome. I appreciate you sharing, man. Congratulations on your sobriety, brother. And if you aren't sober, I don't want you thinking you can't be here. You can't listen. Look. I mean, if you got an 8BZ on you right now, I'll hold the back of your neck while you do a long line, son. While you fucking just take another George Washington's wig right up your nostril. That fucking white fight, put it right up into your brain. That fucking Mustard Douglas, and that shit's gonna fucking punch you in the skull a couple times, dude. Look, more power to you. All right, let's take another call here. Here we go.
What a pleasure, Theo. Thank you for answering the call. This is Eric in Orange Beach.
What's up, Eric? Orange Beach, man. And we used to go over there for spring break when I was in high school. And it's one kid named Billy, and I don't know if he has an alcohol problem, but I don't know if he doesn't. But he broke out a window one time in our hotel room or motel room. And then I think he went to jail or something. We sold all of his clothes while he was in jail. We sold everything out of his luggage on the strip. Onward.
Down here, just hanging out. Tried to microdose on the mushrooms, and I think I overdosed. But anyway,
Hell yeah, bro, dude. That's my thing. If I'm microdosing, I'm more crodosing, son. 1 drop for me, 1 drop for me. Next thing you know, I'm 9 drops deep. I'm 70 drops deep. You're like, damn, bro, you supposed to be microdosing? You got all your clothes off, man. What the fuck is going on? It's 2 PM.
Next thing you knew, my buddy had a pair of needle nose helping me pull a tooth I had a problem with. But never mind that. Just want to let you know, back spinning the back episodes. Hope I don't run out, but really enjoying what you're doing. All right, then. See you there.
Gang, gang, brother. Look, man, if you pulling out a tooth on shrooms, I think that's what I gathered there, then you doing good work, baby. Anybody that could bust around in their own enamel, I wasn't that brave. You know, you like a baby Kevorkian out there. If you're thinking about, if you're willing to pull one of your body parts out of your body when you high on shrooms, buddy, that's what I'm talking about. That's Dentist the Menace, bro. You the one right now. Woo. Dude, that's the thing. And that's a new deal. You could do fucking dental work on people that's all gacked out of their brains or whatever. Open up that 2 a.m. that emergency clinic. People that's fucked up, they pop in. You do whatever. Take out an appendix. You know what I'm saying? Take an ear off, Van Gogh somebody. Because if you the guy, man, you the guy. Because that's brave to pull your own tooth out when you're high on mushrooms, man. Damn, I hope you kept it. I bet you gave it to somebody. Now, the smooth move is giving it to somebody you're in love with. You know what I'm saying? Drop that incisor into a girl's palm. Make her feel something special. Because anybody could put a wiener in a lady. But to find a lady and hit her with that fucking molar, baby. One of those strong white mouth dicks. Now that's a real man. Thank you for sharing, man. Yeah, micro means micro. If you macro dosing, bruh, you know that's when you're doing self-surgery down there in Orange Beach. But all right, let's take another call. 985-664-9503, as always, is the hotline that you can hit. And let's go.
What up, Theo? This is Josh from Minnesota.
Thank you for calling, Josh. I appreciate your call, man. Onward.
Struggling with some shit. I heard your podcast with where you had your best of friends pushing you up and making you wonderful. Oh, I need that so much in my life right now, Theo. I'm recovering from alcohol for 8 years. Haven't done a hard drug in probably 8 years. I smoke pot, but that's not a drug. But I recently started eating pills again, man. I've dealt with suicidal tendencies, been in and out of hospitals. Just looking for, I don't even know, man. Just looking for some positives in this negative that I deal with on the day. Gang, gang, man.
Gang, gang, brother. Let me listen again at the beginning. Catch your name. I think it was Josh.
This is Josh from Minnesota.
Hey, Josh, man, I appreciate your call, man. You know, and I hope you can hear your own voice right now. I want to, because if you're listening to this episode, then you're here. Let's hear some of your own voice again.
Minnesota. Just struggling with some shit. I heard your podcast with where you had your best of friends pushing you up, recovering from alcohol for 8 years. Haven't done a hard drug in probably 8 years. I smoke pot, but that's not a drug. But I recently started eating pills again, man. I've dealt with suicide.
Yeah, and I just want you to hear your own voice, man. Just, you know, I don't know how, if that can help you or not, but yeah, I think the first thing I think whenever I hear you call, and thank you for calling, man. Thank you. it's brave of you to do, and that's nice of you to care enough to share. And it makes me feel sad. It makes me feel sad that you don't feel good. But it's a big problem that's going on, man. It's powerful, those pills and we get polluted. We get polluted. And when we're sick, we can't help ourselves. It sounds like you have a real history of taking care of yourself. You had 8 years no alcohol, 8 years no hard drugs. You're able to use pot and monitor yourself. And I'm not saying that any of those, to each their own journey. But yeah, man, you might be fighting a dark art right now that you can't get up on, Daddy. Sometimes there's a camel that you can't control. A friend of mine drew a camel for me one time. And sometimes a camel have 2 humps. And you sit in the middle. But sometimes a camel just have one fucking huge ass hump. And there's nowhere for you to sit. And both of them will put a sign out front to say, camel rides. But the second camel is just taking your fucking money. The second camel is taking you for a ride. It's not giving you anything. And I know you're in a tough spot, man. I mean, it sounds like all I can offer is experience from things I've experienced. I haven't experienced what you're experiencing. But, when I was struggling with drug use, I got into 12-step and I got into that kind of program stuff that helped me. And I know there's detox and recovery centers and things you can reach out to. And just don't be ashamed if you have to do that. Don't be ashamed. Nobody should ever. We shouldn't make each other feel ashamed for for sharing our struggles and trying to get through them. We're not the news, bro. We're not we're not this society that thinks that, everybody's perfect and beats them down when we're not. We don't do that. We don't shoot our wounded, bro. So, but I'll check in on you this week, man. I'll drop you a buzz and check in on you and see what's up. But just be good to yourself. You deserve it, and take care of yourself, man, and you can do it. I mean, you did 8 years. The homework is there. If you look at your history, it feels like the homework is there to me. So you just had a tough spot, man. You could get through it, though. And I think there's a lot of bright spots out in front of you. And, man, what a loving place for you to be in Minnesota. So many, you want to talk about a place, I know they're Minnesota nice and behind the scenes, but there's a lot of loving people up there and a lot of people with big hearts, man. And if yours ain't that big right now, find somebody whose is. Because sometimes we're fighting a power that's greater than ourselves. So just don't feel like you're not doing a good job of fighting it. Sometimes, it's not a fair fight. Sometimes the camel that you're riding don't have a place for you to sit. You can't sit, you can't sit on it's got to be a curve, man. Gang, bud. Let's take another call or two, man. That's a heavy one, man. 985-664-9503.
Hey, Theo, man. This is Levi Hovis Tedrow from coming out of Southern Indiana.
What's up, Levi? Thank you for calling there from Southern Indiana, man. Onward. And that's the same state as Jim Gaffigan is from. And little J Gaff was in here last week, and man, we had a nice time. Onward.
I was just curious to what you thought about roller coasters. What would you think if the Martians came down someday and they seen us just riding on roller coasters and bungee jumping and skydiving and stuff like that, just risking our lives, just to get a little adrenaline push? Do you think that would be? You think they would think that was stupid, or do you think they'd be kind of interested in that, or do you think they do kind of the same thing? And not necessarily just Martians, but, you know, any kind of foreign being of this universe. What do you think? I would just like to hear your thoughts on what you think they would, how they would feel about that, and if they would want to do the same kind of thing, or if they'd done it before. Thanks, brother. Gang, gang, coming out of Bloomington, Indiana. I appreciate you.
Gang, gang, Bloomington, man. I think they got a school there, so they got a big nursing school over there. I think that's the place. SIU, no. Indiana State, maybe. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Thank you for calling, man. That's a great question. You know, and look, dude, I've heard what, bro, aliens are going to think we are idiots, I think. Or maybe that's the easy way to think. Maybe that's the easy way. Maybe that's the easy idea. Maybe they're going to be infatuated. Maybe they just have really cool rockets and they don't know shit. Because if you really think about it, aliens are going to be so technologically advanced that as beings, they're going to be inept. Because the more technologically advanced we get, we tend to get more inept, more comfortable, more lemming-like. You know, we're just ants. We become way more ants than we do entrepreneurs. You feel me? So if aliens come here, they're going to be all shuttled up. I mean, you talking about everybody's got a fucking, even their shitty uncle is an Elon Musk, you know? Everybody's got the technological capabilities. So when them bad cats get down here, they going to, Burger King. They probably all gonna be all jacked up on Burger King, smoking cigarettes, bruh. I mean, we think that they're gonna be so advanced, they'll know how to work the controls. But once you take that gasoline out of it, out of that, you know, machine-a-lean that they're in, it's gonna be a different story. But the other side is that they'll be so advanced. But yeah, bungee jumping, we're fucking, dude, tying yourself to a rope and jumping off of somebody's crane, that's probably very cheaply insured. Whew. That's like Chapacoa on a rope, bruh. Sounds risky as fuck. I mean, that's a great question. And dude, I'll tell you some of the truth, what I've heard about aliens. I've heard that some of my black friends that said that they got issues with aliens. Apparently there's beef or something right there. And I was shocked when I heard, I was like, what? They're like, yeah, man. Because aliens, what are they going to do? You know, they think a lot of black people and aliens, they fucking got beef, I guess. So, fuck, man. I mean, I think it would be a good fight, probably. But who knows, bro? Who knows, man? Let's take one more call, and I think that'll be it for today.
Hey, Theo. This is Clay calling in from South Louisiana.
What's up, Clay? And I love that, dude. That's one thing I love about Louisiana. You get somebody that's named after a soil, you get somebody named Clay, dirt. You get somebody named after a type of weather, sunny, breezy, dusty, Hale Watkins over there out there off Vermilion Parish. You got Blizzard Jackson, black gal that I went to school with. She's got a couple beautiful children now. Who else, man? Everybody in, you know, you get down in the South, especially in Louisiana, you get those wild names. Rivers, you get a boy named Rivers. Drowning Johansson, we had a fucking German fella showed up, Drowning Johansson. I mean, that's kind of water related. Onward.
Driving over that Atchafalaya Basin right now.
Hell yeah, that Atchafalaya Basin, man. Gang.
I just walked out of LSU, my last class. Gonna be graduating May 10th. I just wanted to thank you. I'd be driving from Lafayette to Baton Rouge every Tuesday, Thursday, go to class. And so I'd like to thank you, keeping me entertained on this hour drive. Me and my brother really appreciate everything you do. We get a lot of good laughs out of you. Not out of you, but with you, I guess. Anyway, love you, brother. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang, man. Go Tigers. Wow. That's nice of you to say, man. You know, when I was young and I was at LSU, like I didn't fit in that great. And so sometimes some of my experience there wasn't super, but I love Louisiana and I love the city and I love the team. I think I was just a nervous kid, you know? So I think none of my experiences were going to be super. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. Wow. What a feeling. What a moment you just took us to. That moment when you go to your last college class. You're like, now what? Am I going to be an adult? Am I going to go travel? You know, what about this relationship I'm in? Does something happen with that if that's going on? Who am I now? These big training wheels of American society, you've kind of treaded them as far as you can. And where are you? And what are you going to do now? Who are you going to be? That's exciting, man. Well, I'm glad I was able to help you make you laugh in whatever facet, man. You know, I'm a clown, but I'm a Clydesdale, So, it's funny. That's my dad. That's how I laughed at my father sometimes. Sometimes he made me laugh because he was funny, but sometimes I laughed at him. But yeah, man, Louisiana's a great city. And it's also a state. So, fuck them. I think I should go back to LSU. Sometimes people give the South, they give it such a hard rap, but man, there's a lot of loving people there. And I take that any day over sometimes of the framework that we're building in other places where Los Angeles has turned into an airport. This city it's the airport. Once you land at the airport, it's the airport. When you get home, it's the airport. It's just a huge airport. It's got that feeling. Let me go. Let me do that. Let me get the back. There's always a line. Everybody this and that and shit. And here come the guy with the carts. And 4 people ain't working. They all know, everybody's slacking over there in the wheelchairs and doing this and that. But enough about me, man. Congratulations, dude. You got your whole world ahead of you. Do what you want. Take time. If I could go back in time, I wouldn't put so much pressure on myself to do things. I would take a little bit more time to do some traveling. I wouldn't think that just because if somebody else is going straight into some big job and I wasn't that I wasn't going to have a good life or that things weren't going to be. You have a lot of time. You have a lot of time. It's not life or death right now for you. It's just life. And I know you didn't ask for that, those suggestions, but yeah, man, time is, man. The time is the number one currency, boy. That's a beautiful currency. And congratulations to you, your brother, man. Shout out to him. Les le bon ton roulé, boy. Y'all be good down there in Lafayette. Shout out to my boy Richie Hike over there. And all the good people over there in South Louisiana. All the people over there in Lake Charles, the greatest city in America to take a nap in, bro. Lake Charles put you to sleep, man. That's rocking chair country. But a lot of good people, a lot of good recipes, a lot of good music, a lot of good stories, a lot of big smiles. And I'm happy to be from a place that has those sorts of things. What else, man? Oh, I saw this news thing. Google's Wing wins the first FAA approval for drone delivery. So, you want to talk about EOTW, baby, the end of the world. Let's talk about it. What's happening, man? Drones? So we droning? You see me droning. People gonna be fucking shooting drones down. I thought it was a mallard. I thought it was a mallard with a briefcase. And that's that Google Wing or that's that Amazon flight. What if somebody drops a fucking, somebody drop a couple accidentally? One of the Google Wing drops a couple vibrators into a preschool yard. Now you got children down there beating each other with sexual, vibrators in each ad. And what else, man? What if you see a fucking, somebody drop a wig into a damn, into a tug of war facility? And now you got a couple of people just stretching out a New Year's weave, just two teams just fucking locked out. Is it safe to have just stuff flying through the air? What if you order a couple cans of WD-40 and the door's locked and the dang little electric bird drops them bitches down the fucking chimney? That little electric bird drops them things down the chimney. That's going to be WD-8000. Blow your damn homestead up. If you got the fire going, if you got a kettle of tea on, you chamomile, and the next thing you know, you ICUing. Because everybody's burnt out. Because you ordered something. I don't know if you can trust these things, man. What if you ordered from the food place and they drop a damn ham hock into a vegan household? Then what? Suddenly they're all happy. Because they got a jaw of ham on them now. Somebody got a little fucking, the kid run out there and sneak that hock into his room. Because he's tired of just lettucing around with his folks. And that can like squash, make everybody happy. And grilled zucchinis, bro. Y'all need to tighten up. So I guess there is some good sides of it. Because I'd be dang, boy, if I wouldn't sit at a window and watch a couple kids who had just been forced into veganism. Man, watch a brother and your brother and sister, two children sit there and watch two children sit there and share a damn ham hock that came from the heavens. Huh. Google Wing, they might be onto something. I think there were things I didn't get to. I think there were things that I did. Again, the tour dates, the cities, they're all out there. Again, we got some new hitters up at theovon.com/store. You can go get a cool shirt if you want it. And again, thanks for just listening to me just say shit. I mean, I honestly don't even know what I'm talking about. But man, what a show. What a weekend. A guy met a girl there. And no Me Too shit, they had fun. Some people came out, they had fun. People enjoying themselves, enjoying their lives. People got engaged on stage. A young guy just finished his final class and drove away from campus for that last time on a sunny afternoon in southern Louisiana or anywhere, any city, any town, any countryside. And it's a new beginning. It's a new experience. A man struggling with drugs. He's fought hard, but now they got these pills out there. They shouldn't be making these damn pills. It's messed up. It's messed up, man. That shit makes me mad. Because we're better than that as people. It's like suddenly we become companies and we act like it's something else. Company's just a couple people. But the devil lurks, man. But we're making it, and I'm going to close out with that. You guys be good to yourselves, man. You deserve it. And just thanks. That's all I can say, man. This is Bishop Gunn with Making It.
I ain't seen home in about 100 days. I can almost hear mama pray for my restless soul. And I ain't made $1 I ain't spent, but where it's going ain't killed me yet. I still get where I'm bound to go. I'm making it. I'm making wrong feel right.
got this, man.
Most all of my plans slip right through my hands and wind up next to me, broken on the ground.
It's true, huh?
If this bottle was an hourglass, I'd say that I'm about an hour past the minute I should have put it down. But I'm making it wrong feel right. I'm making it, and if hell's where I'm headed there, I'm making good time. I'm making good time.
You hear those drum beats, man? You heard them in the background right there? I'll take you back real quick. You hear them right there. Those drum beats, man. That's the son of a man that couldn't beat addiction, you know? But beautiful things come out of everything, man, and they can, you know, we just don't give up, you know?
But I'm in pretty good
And now we got a beautiful thing here. We got the music.
shape that I'm in. I'm making it. I'm making wrong feel right. I'm making it. I'm making it. I'm making good time. I'm making it. I'm making it. I'm making wrong feel right. I'm making it, and it tells where I'm headed there. I'm making good time. Making good time. I ain't seen home in about 100 days. I can almost hear mama praying for my restless soul.
We got this, man. If you can't love yourself, you know we can. If we can't love ourselves, we can at least try to let other people love us until we can, man. You guys be good, man. I love you. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you guys in New York City. I'm going to New York City this week. So I'm excited about that. You know, we're going to New York City. So you'll be there with me. Gang.